Welcome to Agents Growth Academy. It's Jim Schubert, your headmaster. I am super stoked to have Kim Beach on with me. And before I introduce her, are you ready to grow big or go home? I am asking you, if you have not already, consider rating our podcast because it helps to basically get this out to the masses and help spread the messages of our guests. So if you haven't done that, please be sure to rate us, especially on iTunes or what they now call Apple Podcast. Also, I recently shared on LinkedIn a resource for you. Anybody who is looking for ways to find ways that they can give before they get as part of the sales process, which is something that I very firmly believe in. Go to agentsgrowthacademy.com/sales. And there's a download that you can grab that will show you a few examples of some things like my man, Mitch, who basically has a podcast where he records local business owners. And he even takes that to a level where he's giving them exposure before he even dares ask them for anything sales related. So that's Mitch Gibson, but you get some other examples there. So be sure to check that out. agentsgrowthacademy.com/sales. Let's get into it today. My guest is Kim Beach, a relentless marketer. Kim has worked in various sales and marketing occupations for over 30 years. The large majority of her career was spent in the television industry and more recently, the insurance industry. She started Village Insurance in 2018 from scratch and currently supports more than 300 clients. Village Insurance is where her passion for empowering women in the insurance buying process all began. Kim launched Insure Women on March 8th, 2021, very important date because that's International Women's Day, to fill a need for female insurance buyers who did not feel comfortable with the insurance buying process. The mission of Insure Women is to empower women in the insurance buying process to feel confident, educated, and treated with the respect and attention they deserve. Well done, Kim. She's also creating a network of female agents across the country who have a passion for serving these female buyers. Kim Beach, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, Jim. So excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for our guests to learn about Insure Women in just a minute. But first, tell me how you got here. I interviewed your son, Chase, and he let us in on the secret that insurance goes way back in y'all's family. For him, it's 5 generations. So how did you get here?
Wow. Well, let's see. Where do you want to start? Like my bio said, I mostly was in television sales for my career. And then at the end of my career, my kids were out of college, so I didn't have to pay for them anymore. And I was like, what's kind of the next thing? I really don't want it to end here at the TV station. Just some things were going on and I just was like, not happy there. And my husband, who is a lifelong life insurance agent, said, why don't you get licensed and come join me, and we could work together. And so I did that. And then kind of through some other business connections, we found out that I could start a scratch agency with Erie. My husband has always wanted to have a property and casualty agency. His dad actually had one, as Chase probably said, prior to my husband going in the business. But he's been pretty much life insurance guy. So life man, I think, as Chase said.
Yes, on the license plate.
Yeah. So he's like, Kim, what do you think about starting the agency? And he really couldn't because of some business things that were going on with him. So I said, I was just naive enough to be like, well, sure, that can't be that hard and sounds like fun. And I'm, older and connected in my community, been very involved in my community all these years. So I thought, it can't be that hard. So just launched Village Insurance with Erie's help in 2018. So just went past my 3rd year here. Nice. And it's been great. But as you mentioned, when I first started, I just saw this aversion from women about insurance, and it really kind of like, I guess maybe it was my new perspective, because I hadn't been in the insurance business, in the property and casualty business. So I was like, why do women not like insurance? And then really kind of started working more with women that were divorced and widowed and young single women, and I really enjoyed that. I was like, I really felt like I was serving them, like
Yeah.
I was giving them service that they weren't getting other places, and they were communicating that with me, and just always kind of was like, wow, like there really should be something just for women in insurance, because I think financial services has done a good job of focusing on women,
Hmm.
but the insurance business obviously has not, because I looked around and there was nothing. And Chase is a pretty good motivator. He's like, Mom, you should just start something. So I was like, no, I already have a business. I don't need to start a second business. But then really just kind of became convicted about it. Like, no, this is a need. Like there are a lot of women out there who are not being served the way they should be, not educated, and they don't, they just don't like the experience. Well, I mean, I think there's men that feel the same way too, but
Sure.
my passion is to help these women. So
Yeah.
launch the business, and currently running my village insurance business, trying to build out Insure Women by connecting with other female agents across the country. But yeah, so it's my goal is to launch it kind of nationally next
Yeah.
year on International Women's Day, so to kind of have a corral of women that are on board and
Yeah.
push forward. Yeah.
That's awesome. So those women that you're kind of gathering up, so to speak,
Yeah.
their mission will be to do what you've done for other women individually.
Yeah, I mean, really just women that have a passion to serve women. So I'm going to
Yeah.
help, train them. How are women different?
Okay.
How should we be selling to women?
Hmm.
And then just really, as far as female agents, creating like a community. I mean, a lot of these women that I've reached out to, and so interesting, like especially through COVID. I mean, I've talked to female agents that are working in their basement by themselves. So they have no community at all,
Yeah.
and the only community they could go back to in the office is a bunch of guys. No offense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no taking.
So so people really, I mean, the women that I've talked to just really resonate with having some sort of female voice out there, and also this community of women that can share in best practices, having roundtables of certain, like business expertise, and really what I want to do, which I think you would love, is really just challenge women too, challenge them to start, try new technologies, try
Yeah.
new marketing ideas,
Yeah.
because I do think, women also, are a little more scared to try some stuff sometimes. And it's like,
Sure.
no, like even my videos that you mentioned, like
Yes.
my son, like he's, Mom, just get on Loom and do it. Just do
Yeah.
it. And I did. And he challenged me. He's like, you better, you by next Monday, I want to see a video. And I did it. And now, you know what? I really enjoy it. And the
Y-
feedback has been amazing, because people see these videos and think, wow, Kim Beach is an expert in insurance, and while I
uh,
might be a small expert, I just started 3 years ago,
well,
but
well,
it makes you look bigger. So
yeah.
there's a lot of things that you can do, yeah, to
Yeah.
to expand your I guess brand.
Sure, absolutely. And I think we talked a little bit offline about those videos, but you just kind of, well, no, that's true. I mentioned a second ago too. Yeah. So these videos, y'all, if you have not checked it out, are they exclusively on LinkedIn, or do you have them anywhere else? Do you have them on
They're
the
on my
Insure?
website as well. They're
Okay.
they're on my website, insurewomen.com, insure
Okay.
women with an E,
Yep.
and they're under education.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So check those out, y'all, because what I love about them is it's so simple. And you challenged me too when you and I talked a couple months ago, just catching
Yes,
up
I
with each
did.
other.
Yeah.
You threw the challenge out to me, and you're like, create your first video on Loom. And
Yeah.
we've talked about Loom on this show before. But yeah, that is a fantastically easy piece of software
Yeah.
that anybody can use. Even
Yeah.
I could figure it out. And I
Yeah.
did it the next week, and you were like cheering me on. I was like, yeah, it's awesome. But yeah,
Yeah.
so these videos are super cool because you're literally it not to take anything away from you, right? But it doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot
No.
to create the slides
Right.
about the coverage that you're
Canva.
talking about,
Yeah.
right? And then get on
Yeah.
camera at the same time and
Yeah.
explain the coverage.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Anybody that can stand up and just kind of look into a camera can do it. Yeah, and the
But
slides super easy. I think that's Canva. I don't know if you use Canva, but
yes, yeah.
oh, love it, love it, love
Yeah,
it, love it.
yeah. Don't know where I'd be without Canva for sure. I, yeah, I think the thing that distinguishes you from a lot of other agents is that you will actually then go post it for other people to see, right?
Yes,
Because sure,
hitting that post button is yeah,
yeah,
but it gets easier.
yeah,
That's what I just think. It just gets easier. I mean, but
yeah,
I've had people, somebody that I worked with at the TV station. I mean, I worked there a couple different times before
yeah,
I had kids. And then kind of when my kids were in high school, it was kind of a weird thing. They asked me to
yeah.
come back after 15 years. I was like, can I do that? Okay, yeah, I guess I can. But a guy that I worked with the first time, so we're talking like early 90s, he emailed me. He goes, I just want you to know how impressed I am by those videos. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, so yeah, so
Aw.
it's amazing the people that it's touching and and that obviously makes me feel better. Like, wow, okay, I'm helping and and it looks decent.
It does, and I think about the way that I phrased that before. I certainly did not mean to insinuate that like it was
Oh,
super easy, anybody could do it.
no,
You
no,
do
no, no.
make it look professional, and
Oh,
Canva makes everybody look professional, right?
yes, agreed, agreed.
That's
Yeah.
it's a phenomenal tool. The reason I love it too is I've actually, because of you, Kim, I have talked to some of the agents in my agency and said, why don't y'all try to do this? And I
Yeah.
think the biggest hesitation is I don't want to be on camera.
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
say to people?
Well, I mean, obviously, most of these people probably are on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, they're putting
Yeah.
themselves out there in a way already. So you might as well put yourself out there as professional and an expert. And you know what? Here's the thing: what do you got to lose? What do you
Yeah.
have to lose? I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly think it's like the man in the arena. Have the man in the arena?
No, no.
Okay, yeah. Look it up, but
Okay.
yeah, it's basically like you can either be the person sitting outside the arena and talking, I think maybe Theodore Roosevelt,
Okay.
and talking about the people like, oh, that guy, is doing a bad job in there, and he's losing and everything. You can either be the man outside the arena or the man in the arena. You want to be the man in the arena. you know,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. That's awesome. I'm writing it down. Maybe I'll
Okay.
use
Oh
it
yeah.
for a.
Trust me. You'll. It's easy to find. Yeah. Brene Brown is big on the man in the arena. Daring Greatly is a book that she wrote, and
Okay.
that comes from the man in the arena. It's like just daring greatly.
Well, you might not know it, but you inspired me to start doing my Sunrise with Sammy videos because I kind of sat there and I was like, you know what? I mean, it's a habit that you have to just create. You have to just say, you
Hmm.
know what? I'm going to do it
Yeah.
however frequently. For me, I'm daring to
Yeah.
try to do it every day.
Woo.
Um,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
it's yeah. And so like when you give me a quote like that, I'm like, I'm sweet. I'm going to use that one in my
Oh yeah. Use that. Yeah, yeah. Look it up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
Well, I'm
but
glad to hear that. Wow, because I am very impressed by you. So it's nice to know that I inspired you. Thank
well,
you.
we are equally impressed by each other. I think I do love what you're doing with Insure Women, and I guess what I love for our audience to kind of figure out for those, especially women who are interested in
Mhm.
maybe learning more about it, seeing how they can get involved or what they can
Yeah.
learn from it.
Yeah.
Uh, what what will they get from it? What kinds of things are you alluded to teaching women how to sell
How
insurance or
right.
provide insurance to other women? What does that look like? How is that different?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot of experts that, talk about how, selling to women versus not selling to women, but there's also a lot of nuances in social media. We're going to provide social media to them, LinkedIn, Instagram post. I mean, every week we're going to be providing something that, is woman focused. I mean, the
Got it.
website will obviously be woman focused, but I
Yeah.
think, again, the key might be this community of being able to come together and one of the things that I want to do is to have this platform to let other women provide content because
Mm.
women, and it's interesting, I just sent out a survey to there's I don't know, it's probably like a little over 100 women that I have kind of on my email list, and got back like 28. So I was like, and I had them rank kind of all these different things that we, talk about when I talk to women about it, just as far as, do you want to be on a podcast? Do you want to provide content? Do you want to be part of training? Do you want do you want a web page on Insure Women? Like what is the most important to you, kind of thing. But, and people want to provide content. I was kind of surprised. So people, and that could be a post but any kind of content that you are able to give back to people. And you probably know that if you give somebody content, it's like a present. It's like,
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Now I can take this content and post it on my social media and, and kind of leverage it. So yeah, I really just want to, empower women in the buying process, empower women in the selling process. And then interestingly, I've been talking to a big life insurance company that happens to be headquartered here in Cincinnati, and they're interested in Insure Women. And we've been talking just about how to get more women into the business.
Oh.
So I believe I'm adding another tier to Insure Women, because now we're going to focus on, okay, how do we get more women? And it's funny in this conversation, it's like, we just need to bring the sexy back to insurance, or actually, well, not even back. I mean, we just need to bring the sexy to insurance for women. But I think, being an agency owner, or being an agent even, I mean, if you can do that as a career, you can, especially for women, make good money, as far as an owner, build an asset, have flexibility, be part of your community. I think it's like being a local realtor, but even better, because you're building that asset, you're building something. So I don't know, that's my third tier now.
You're creating a revolution. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
and
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, we're in a service industry, right? We exist to serve other people, and especially, before they are at their worst moments, and then we serve them when they're at their worst moments. We've had two tragic claims in the past week in our agency from this, unfortunately, the same agent, but both involving deaths. And it's just, when you're speaking with those clients in the moment at their worst, you think back to, did I serve them well enough before we got to this point? Right. And with what you're doing with Insure Women, I think it really kind of brings everything full circle, because it's all about serving other women, other people in general. And yeah.
And I just love the word serve. I mean, and it's funny because I did somebody interviewed me for this local website that she does just about women. And, one of the things that she asked me was like, what's different with you today than at the beginning of your career, or something like that. I said, at the beginning of my career, I was in sales. So I was all about me. Like, I want to sell, I want to be on the cover of the, company magazine. I want to go on the sales trip, and all this. And, now, I mean, at the end, and, I'll try not to cry this time, but, I cried on the video, because I was just like, now I really just feel that I want to serve. So, I mean, and it's, it comes, what's awesome is it comes from a full heart and, and sincerity. And I think, and that's why I think it's going to be successful, because I think there's a need, and, we're doing it. I'm I say we, it's pretty much me right now. I mean, I hope to have help, but and just the response and the feedback that I've gotten, has been pretty positive. So,
I love it. And I love that there's passion behind it too. That's there's no better thing to have in this industry than passion, and really in anything that you're doing in life.
Enthusiasm.
Right? Yes. Enthusiasm.
Were you the one that did the enthusiasm thing the other day?
Yes. And Brent, Brent Kelly, so aptly said, that the last four letters mean something. I won't say it here, because you need to go watch the video, but
okay.
How's that for a sale?
All right.
Yes, but I love it.
The last four or the last three?
I think it was the last three or four. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Details. Details, Kim.
Details. Yeah, yeah,
I'm a guy. I
my
don't have a detail oriented.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
My father-in-law used to say, "Enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm."
Yeah.
You know, and I
Yeah.
always was kind of like, what? But
It's
I totally
contagious.
get it.
I
Yes,
love
it
it.
is. It is contagious. It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah. Tis. Are you ready for the rapid fire round?
Oh, ready. Yes.
Oh, yes. She's excited about this. We were talking off air. She's like, I'm
Jumping up and
ready. All
down.
right. One piece of technology or software that you cannot live without.
Okay, I know we talked about Canva, so
Yep.
Canva, yes, but also
Yep.
Snip. I mean,
Snip.
oh, Snip. Snip will change your life. Oh my gosh. So it allows you to go to your computer and highlight something and basically make a picture of it. Snip. Yeah.
It's not the
I
one
mean, I
that's
use,
built into Windows, is it?
yeah, it might be. It's a little
Okay.
circle with the scissors.
Oh,
Yeah. But it,
I think, yes,
oh my
yes.
gosh. Yeah. If you don't use that, that will, Snip changes my life.
What do you
Yes.
use it for?
I use it for quotes. I use it. I don't know. I'm just constantly cutting and pasting. So, yeah,
I love
I
it.
don't know.
I love
Yeah.
it. One book that you're reading now, or that's just your favorite book, or something that's
Okay. One I'm reading right now is Alchemy by Rory Sutherland. So he ran Ogilvy, which is a big advertising agency. And I love it because what he is talking about is just all the subconscious reason that people do things and buy things or and so it basically is like market research is always big, but market research just asks people questions and people answer, but is their answer really real? Like, and
mm,
because he basically is saying that people don't even know why they do stuff, so how can they answer honestly? So it's just, and then just really thinking about how to solve a problem illogically, like
yeah,
like why everybody tries to be so logical, and it's like maybe there's not a logical answer, maybe there's an illogical answer. So
yeah.
it's just one of those books that just makes you really think like, wow, yeah.
I
But yeah,
love it.
really good book. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Um, your favorite story about a sales win?
Okay. And I just like this story because I think it just reminds you that you just never know where a sale is going to come from. So we were on a family vacation not Augusta, Reynolds
Yeah, Reynolds
Lake Oconee.
Plantation. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, I didn't want to say plantation.
Oh,
But yeah, so we were there, and just our younger son lives in Atlanta, so we thought it'd be fun. And Chase, our older son, had business there, so we're like, let's just do a short weekend there. And we took a pontoon boat to the Ritz Carlton there.
oh yeah.
And as everyone knows, the Ritz Carlton is really expensive, so
Yep.
I'm fairly conservative. So I'm like, all right, guys, we'll just go to the bar and have one drink. That
Here's
just
your
never
ticket.
worked with my family. Yeah. Yeah. Here's your ticket. Ah, that's what I should do.
Yeah.
So we go to the outside bar, and then the outside bar closes. So they're like, no, we got to go upstairs. And I'm like, no, we're not going upstairs. So we went upstairs, of course. And there's, a bunch of people up there. And it's funny because we had our house on the market, and we're having a hard time selling it. And, I just kind of given up. I was like, that's it. We're just meant to be here. Our taxes are really high and everything. And our
Yeah.
kids were gone. So I
Yeah.
was just like, but anyway, we had taken it off the market. And so we went upstairs, and there was this group of girls, and my husband started talking to them, and they were from Georgia. But one girl actually was from Cincinnati, where I live, and she was down there for her 30th birthday. She had lived in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were talking to him, and then one of her friends is like, where do you live? And my husband's like, Marymount. And she's like, oh, Mindy wants to buy a house in Marymount. And Ted's like, oh, well, our house really isn't for sale, but you can go talk to Kim. And so she came over to talk to me, and I kind of was like, well, I think we're just meant to be there because we can't sell it. But ended up through LinkedIn finding this girl and saying, you know what, I thought about it, like, maybe we might sell it. They ended up buying it.
Oh my gosh.
Is that crazy? Is that
Wow.
And now they're my clients.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So I insure my old house. I know. Is that funny? And
I
actually,
I
my
love it.
son's girlfriend in Atlanta now works for the same company that Mindy works for. Like, I
Yeah.
know. It's like it was all this crazy confluence. But I guess again, just back to, you never know. I just think be open. Be
Yeah.
open, because you never know what is going to happen, and what, God has in store for you. I mean,
I
like
love
if
it.
you would have told me that would have happened that week, I would have been like, no way.
I
But
love it.
it
Serendipity
happened.
and being at the right
Yes.
place at the right time. I love
Yeah.
that. Be open.
Yeah.
That's like going to be
Yes.
my new mantra.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Any daily or weekly habits that you feel like have led to your success?
One thing I'm big on is working out.
Okay.
I'm a little crazy if I don't work out. My kids know when I haven't worked out. So I think working out is just a good way to start your day and feel better. And yeah, I working out.
Awesome.
And then church.
Yeah.
Go to church every week.
Yeah.
That's important to me. Like business habits. I don't really, nothing really pops to my mind like business habits, other than my love for LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yes. But both of those things that you
Yeah.
mentioned focus on, your body and your mind and your spirit, right?
Right.
And those
Right.
are things that I think sometimes people forget about. I
Right.
know from a body perspective, although I have started creating a daily habit of doing push-ups, and
Oh,
my
good.
son, my 16-year-old is my accountability partner. He's like, Dad, you
Oh.
really need to add flutter kicks in there for your stomach
Oh,
because that's bigger than you just need to focus on that. And I was like,
thank you, son.
pipe
Yes.
down. I'm going to start with
Yeah.
the push-ups and then I'll add the flutter kicks.
I like it.
And
But
then
accountability partners are good.
yes, they are. We
Yeah.
definitely need them. I
Yeah.
especially. One final piece of advice for our audience that you can give.
Wow. I would just say serve.
Yeah.
Serve. Whatever way you can in your day. I think a lot of times we focus on ourselves and maybe like we want to put ourselves first. And I don't know. I think just like by putting yourself in that second position is gonna, you're gonna make more friends and you're going to do more good in this world by serving.
I love it. I love it. I used a quote this morning from Zig Ziglar on my
Oh,
Sunrise Walk with Sammy, and I think it's the one that was posted today. But
okay.
yeah, he's talking about the same concept of
Yeah.
if you want to get more things out of your life, focus
Yeah.
on helping other people get what they want
Yes.
first.
Yes. Yes.
And without the caveat there is without the expectation of getting something immediately, because I think
Right.
we are so conditioned, especially in today's technology driven age, to have instant
Right.
gratification. And, you're a spiritual person, so am I. And one of the things I read from Bishop Robert Barron yesterday was just a reminder of, that God will give you, he'll make you wait just so
Yeah.
that you can learn patience and
Yeah.
really appreciate the thing when you get the thing that you're asking for. Right.
Yes.
And it might also
Yes.
not be in the form that you asked it. You have to be very specific.
Yeah. Amen.
Right. Love it. Love it. All right. I have one pop quiz question that you weren't aware of, perhaps.
Oh.
If I said to you, Kim, right now, would you rather have soup or marshmallows? What would you choose? I know it's totally random.
I would go soup. I would go soup. I'm a soup girl.
What kind of soup would you go for?
Chicken noodle.
Chicken noodle. Love it. Love it.
Kind of boring, I know, but I like it. Chicken noodle, can help you when you're sick.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we started doing something for our guests on the show. I'm going to send you some chicken noodle soup from Spoonful of Comfort, and you're going to love it. We gave it to our employees this last year. It's just a thank you and a we love you kind of gift. And I want to share it with you because it's a wonderful soup package. And
thank you.
Yeah,
So
I'll get your
excited
address.
to get that.
I'll get your address off air. But
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to learn more about Kim Beach or Insure Women or anything?
Yeah. So insurewomen.com. We said that already.
Yep.
Find me on LinkedIn. I love connecting with people, love hearing other people's stories. And, if I can help you anyway, I will. So LinkedIn, Kim Beach. And just, reach out to me. Happy to talk with anybody. There's actually a agent link on Insure Women. So if you're an agent that wants to get involved, be part of the Insure Women movement, find me there. Would love to talk to you. Yeah.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure having you today, Kim. Appreciate it.
Jim. Yes, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, folks out there listening, watching this, grow big or go home.